Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy, once again, G to the Q, Q to the T, Q-Town, and you are watching, once again, the new GQ. Man, first of all, I just want to apologize that it's been so long since I came to y'all with a video on this channel. I really do sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. It is only because I have been so freaking busy. Like, I've been so busy. And people who follow me, they can second that. They like, yeah, this little dude done been busy. He done been busy. So, once again, I do apologize that I have not come with a video on my usual, at least weekly schedule that I usually drop videos on this channel. And it's really just because I've been busy, like I said. And another thing is, I don't like to force videos. I don't like to come on here and like just come up with a topic just off the top of my head and then just, force feed it to y'all. I actually like to have things that I upload on this channel that really do help people, and that my intuition tells me that I should really bring to you guys to really help you and anybody that could be going through certain type of situations. Which brings me to the topic. Oh, but before we get to the topic, just make sure you smash that like button, smash that thumbs up button, smash it, please smash it, because it will help the channel and it will help other people see the video and things like that. It'll help it circulate through the algorithm a whole lot better. So just smash that thumbs up button, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a video on this channel. So what we are talking about today, and this is a very important topic. I know I say this all the time, but this really might be the most important video that I have ever done on this channel. Like, I say that all the time, but this is really a major video. And another thing is, if you feel like I'm not really coming with my same energy that I usually come with on this channel, it is because really the topic, and I don't want anybody that's dealing with this condition to feel like, I'm kind of just boasting in their face or something like that, or I'm not taking their condition seriously, because I do take it seriously. And I really feel for anybody that's going through this type of situation. So if you feel like my energy is a little bit low compared to what it usually is on the videos, then it's really just because of the topic, and I don't want to have my energy be overwhelming to somebody that might really be going through this condition. Because today we are talking about depression. And this is a really touchy topic. This is a really touchy topic because so many people go through this and they don't even know why, they don't know how, they don't know how to get out of it. Like, it's just a random condition that people go through. Like, it's completely random. Nobody knows how they wind up going through it. Nobody knows how to get themselves out of it. And it's just really sad, because honestly, I think that it's really sad because I feel like the medical community takes advantage of people who are unsuspecting and that are really going through things in their life, and the medical community really just takes complete full advantage of them. Because let's say you're going through this condition and then you end up taking the regular routes that you feel like you should take to better yourself and to make yourself more healthy. Those routes aren't even really the routes that will help you and that will make you more healthy. They're liable to really just prolong the situation and keep you going through the same thing over and over. And really all you're gonna do is just line the pockets of a bunch of doctors and a bunch of physicians. The whole medical community will get paid off of you, but you will still be suffering with the same condition, which is why I'm here to do this video, so that I can help people, so that you don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to see a physician to tell you that you are depressed and that you should go see a psychiatrist, and then you go see a psychiatrist that puts you on a bunch of medications just for you to not feel the way that you feel. And it doesn't have to be that way. And the medical community doesn't have to take advantage of people the way that they do. They have all of the ability to give people correct information so that they don't go through this situation. And the reason why they don't do it is because they get rich off of it. Like the medical community is simply getting rich and staying rich because they are giving false information to people and putting them on medications that they don't really need in order to cure a condition that is technically non-existent. And I don't want to say non-existent in a sense where how someone feels or how people feel doesn't exist, because how you feel when you feel like you're in this state, it is very real. It is very real. It is very, very, very real. Your emotions, your feelings, how you feel and how you think is very real. But the word that they put with it and how they diagnose it is very, very untrue. And to say that, when I'm saying that, I will get deeper into it. So basically, let's talk about the word depression. Let's say you were to go on Google right now and look up what is depression, or look up the word depression. You will be met with a whole list of different symptoms, of different causes and different symptoms that supposedly make up depression. But what you will not see is anything that is actually considered any type of cure. They won't even attempt to give you a way to cure it. Because why? Because they want you to go to the doctor. They want you to see a physician. They want you to have to spend all of this money. They want you to go through all of the avenues so that everybody gets paid. That's why they don't give you the correct information to say, hey, this is how you truly get out of this state that you feel like you're in. So with that being said, before we can really talk about how you cure depression, we must, one, talk about what is depression. We must, two, talk about what causes depression, what truly causes depression. And three, we have to talk about how exactly do people really get stuck in kind of just like a downward spiral of depression. So now that we've talked about the fact that the word depression is actually a made up word, and once again, that is I'm not saying that to disrespect anybody that has ever felt like they were depressed or feels like right now they might be depressed. I'm not saying that to downplay anybody's feelings or downplay anybody's thoughts. Like I said, the way that you feel and the way that you think is very, 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 very real. But the word that they put with it is simply just a made up word so that they can diagnose you with something, so that you'll need to go to the doctors and spend a whole bunch of money. And I can tell you right now that if you were to go through all of the correct avenues, all that would end up happening is you would end up spending a bunch of money, whether it's your money or the insurance company's money. You're going to end up spending a bunch of money. And then at the end, you're not even really going to feel like you're cured. You're going to have to take a whole bunch of medications and things like that, because like when you feel like you're not cured yet, they're going to put you on the medications, and that's really just going to make things worse. Because like if you ask me, anything unnatural that you're putting into your body is not truly helping your body. It's truly hurting your body. So when you go to the doctors and they prescribe you with all of these different medications and things like that, it's not a natural treatment. So you may feel like it makes a difference for the time being, but it's really going to have a lot of adverse effects on your body and on your mind. So even if you were to take the medication, go through the avenues, take the medication, and you were to feel like, okay, maybe, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, about this, that's only going to be temporary. You're going to have to keep taking those medications. You're going to have to keep going to the doctors. And like I said, you're just going to be making the entire medical community rich, and you're still going to be having the same situation. You're still going to be going through the same condition, so to speak. So, with all of that being said, what is depression? Now, what depression is, what depression truly is, and just let's be simple about this. Let's simplify this as much as humanly possible so that anybody, and I mean anybody that's any age that's watching this video can understand it. What depression is it is simply negative thought patterns causing negative emotions, or it could be negative emotions causing negative thought patterns. It ping pongs back and forth. But what it is simply negative thoughts and negative emotions. That is all it is. So if you simplify it down to that, then it'll make it a lot easier for you to think about, okay, what am I going through? But whereas if they just give you some type of made up word that nobody knew what it was until somebody put a definition to it, that's not going to help you. That's really just going to make you diagnose yourself and make you want to go to the doctors and make you feel worse about yourself, really. So we have to simplify it down to what is depression. It is negative thought patterns and negative emotions. That is all depression is. If you think about it being more than that, then you're going to confuse yourself, and then you're going to be caught still in the same spiral. So do yourself a favor and think about depression. Like, basically, let's do away with the word depression, even though I'm still going to use it throughout this video because that's what we're talking about. But theoretically, let's completely do away with the word depression, because it's simply just a made up word that somebody made up to say, okay, these people that are going through negative thoughts and negative emotions that are ping-ponging back and forth off each other from negative thoughts to negative emotions, and it just becomes a spiral. They just gave it a word. They said, these people have depression. So they just found a way to take advantage of people who are already suffering and line the pockets of a bunch of the entire medical community. So everybody in the medical community from every avenue is gonna get paid off of you being diagnosed with depression. So theoretically, let's do away with the word depression. Let's think about this thing as simple as possible. It is negative thoughts and negative emotions. That is all it is. And the reason why I say this is because I have gone through the same things. I have been in the same position where, I'm feeling really bad. I'm feeling all of these negative things, and I don't know why I'm feeling them. I didn't know why I was feeling them. And it wasn't until I kind of just had my eyes open, by God, and just let me know what was going on, that I was able to see wow, there was nothing really wrong with me the whole time, other than the fact that I let negative thoughts come into my mind and take over my mind. So that is really all that's happening when we get to these points where we feel like, oh man, I'm just so depressed. I'm just down. I don't know what's going on. I'm just so depressed. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like doing that. It's just negative thoughts. It's just negative thoughts causing negative emotions. And all of these negative thoughts, these negative emotions, they will wear on you. They will make you fatigued. They will really make you tired. And another thing that they will do is they will cause all types of other medical conditions that are very real. So even though depression itself is a made up word, the fact that you have these negative thoughts and negative emotions going through your mind and taking over your mind, they will cause medical conditions to go on with your body, that can really be proven that you have. This state will cause these things to happen to you. And the reason why that happens is because when you're not healthy in your mind, then your body is going to continuously try to treat that. Even though it doesn't really know how, it's going to continuously just try to treat that. And it's not going to pay attention to the rest of your body and it's not going to be putting those resources into the rest of your body and maintaining the rest of your body. So when you are in a depressed state, and that is simply going to cause all kinds of other medical issues to go on in your body. And I'm saying this because I went through the exact same thing. I've gone through all of this stuff, and now that I know what's going on, and I'm practicing these things that I'm about to tell you in this video, I feel a lot better, and I know for a fact that I don't ever have to go through that again. I never have to worry about feeling like I'm depressed ever again, because I know exactly how to get myself out of it, which is exactly why I'm doing this video, so that I can tell you guys. Now, I may put some timestamps in the description so that people don't necessarily have to watch the whole video, though I do think it will be beneficial for people to watch the whole video, because some people are going to feel like I'm rambling. Some people are going to feel like, oh, well, why doesn't he just get to the steps of telling us how to cure it and things like that? But like I said, you can't figure out how to cure something if you don't understand what is going on in the first place. And that is what's happening, is that people are going through these mental states and they don't understand what's going on. So they're automatically diagnosing themselves with depression. They're not even going to the doctor and saying, hey, I'm feeling all of these emotions. I'm feeling like I don't want to do anything. I'm feeling like I can't really accomplish things. And, they're not even, a lot of people aren't even doing that. They're just simply diagnosing themselves with depression because they know that they don't feel right. They know that mentally they're not feeling right. So that is what depression is. Depression is simply negative thought patterns, negative emotions. So, and like I said, that's the same thing that causes depression. It's just negative thought patterns, negative emotions. So the same thing that depression is the same thing that causes it. It's negative thought patterns, negative emotions. They like negative thoughts get into your mind. It causes negative emotions, and they just ping pong back and forth off of each other. And it's just all negativity. It's a downward spiral from there of you not feeling good, of you just feeling bad, of you feeling low, of you feeling not capable, of you not wanting to be involved in things because you don't feel capable, you don't feel right, So this is the same thing. It's the same thing that depression really is the same thing that causes it. So just remember that, and we're gonna move on to the next part, which is how do we wind up getting stuck in it? And like I said, I just explained that as well. The negative thought patterns, they get into your mind and it causes negative emotions, and they ping pong back and forth off of each other. It's just a downward spiral of negativity. So that is exactly what happens. Now that we have gotten to the bottom of what is depression, what depression really is, now we can talk about how do you cure yourself? What is the cure for depression? What is the one thing that all of these people cannot figure out, when it comes to feeling depressed and feeling these states, feeling these mental states that make them feel like they are depressed, they are in depression. What is the cure? And this is actually very simple. It's so simple that it's almost like just ironic that nobody ever comes to the conclusion. But the cure for depression is happiness. Like it's simple. The cure for depression is just happiness, complete bliss. Like everything that you do, you're just happy, just complete bliss. That is the cure for depression, because there's no way that you could possibly be depressed when everything in your reality is blissful. Like, when you view your reality as just being a blissful state, then there's no room for depression. There's no room for these negative thoughts to come in, and there's no room for these negative emotions to come in and take over. Like there's just no room for it, because you're happy. You're in complete bliss. So the way that we get to that happy state is, we know that depression is caused by negative thoughts and negative emotions. So the way that we cure ourselves of these negative thoughts and these negative emotions is that we have to put positive thoughts and positive emotions into our mind. Because once you think something, once something goes into your mind, it never goes away. It never goes away. Once you see something, once you feel something, once something comes into your mind, it never goes away. But the thing is, if you let it go into a negative spot, then it's actually going to project that negativity out into your physical reality. So this is why it's important to feed your mind with positive thoughts, positive thinking, positive things about yourself. Like, just say positive things about yourself, positive affirmations. I'm amazing. I am capable. I can do anything. I am creating the life that is perfect for me, that I want, that makes me completely happy. That is what I'm creating. If you say these things and you really believe it, there is no room for depression. So right now, I'm going to give you 3 steps. So 3 steps on how you can very easily recognize what's going on with yourself, and you can cure yourself very easily without going to the doctor, without seeing a physician, without taking a bunch of medication, because none of that stuff is going to work in the first place. And it's just going to cost you a bunch of money, and it's going to really cost you your health, because all of that medication has side effects. So even though you're supposedly curing one thing, you're going to cause a whole bunch of other things to go wrong in your body. And that's the medical community. They're never actually going to cure anything, because they don't make money off of cures. They make money off of you having the condition. So that is why the medical community doesn't actually cure anything. I mean, think about cancer. Cancer's been going on for I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure that somewhere in this world, the cure for cancer exists. But the medical community makes way more money off of the people getting treated for cancer than they would ever make off of curing people of cancer. Same thing with HIV. Like, we've already heard that the cure for HIV or the cure for AIDS exists somewhere in this world, but why hasn't the cure come over here to the US? Why aren't all of these people that are suffering being cured? It is simply because the medical community is making its money off of the backs of these people, off of the pain of these people. And that is sad. That's the medical community that we are in, that we have in this country and really in the world, because like most communities, their medical fields, they're really just all about money. They want to get paid. They go to school for all of these years, get these degrees to make sure that they get paid. So they want to make sure that they get paid, and they're going to do that by making sure that they don't cure people but treat people. So, and these treatments aren't cures. So it's like there's really no point in doing the treatments, because the treatments, they're not cures. So the real way to cure depression, like I said, is feed your mind with positive thoughts and positive thinking. And I'm gonna tell you how to do that in 3 steps. So the first step, this is very important. This is probably the most important step. Step one. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever say that you are depressed. Ever, ever, ever. And that is for a few reasons. One, because you are admitting to having a condition that doesn't truly exist. So you are basically you're kind of wishing it on yourself. You're putting it on yourself that you have this condition that technically doesn't really exist, other than to get money out of you within the medical community. So never tell yourself that you are depressed. Never say it out loud. Never say it to yourself in your mind. Just never do it. Never do it. Like I said, you're admitting to something that's not actually true, and you're speaking it into reality. So anything, your words are very powerful, very, very powerful. I made another video about that. I think that might have been my last video, where I'm just telling you how powerful your words are. Yeah, that was my last video on how to build confidence, how to gain confidence. So your words are very powerful. So anything you say, it will come true. It will come true. So if you say, I am depressed, it will come true. You are speaking it into reality, that even if you aren't already depressed, that you will be depressed. So never, ever, ever say that you are depressed, and never think it in your mind to say, never think in your mind like, I'm depressed. Like, because all you're doing is really saying, I'm not getting myself out of this. That's really all you're saying. It's like, I'm not getting myself out of this. I don't know how to get myself out of this, so I'm just going to stay in it. That's really what you're saying. So step one, never, ever, 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 ever say that you are depressed, because you are then speaking it into an existence and wishing it on yourself. So let's get that out the window, because I see a lot of people, a lot of people doing this and saying out loud that they are depressed. And those same people, majority of them to this day, they are still in the same exact point where I heard them say that they were depressed. So just take that and like let's move forward to step 2. And once again, I just want to say once again, I am not downplaying anything that anybody is feeling and anything that anybody is thinking. Your thoughts and your feelings are very, very real. They are very real. And nobody is saying that you don't have a reason to think these things, but it is in your best interest not to think these things, not to allow these thoughts to come into your mind. It is for your best interest. It is for your best health not to let these thoughts come into your mind and take over and get you into a point where you feel like you are depressed. So let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is you have to be able to pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions. So a lot of things, one thing that a lot of people do not do is they do not pay attention to their thoughts. They do not pay attention to their emotions. They think a thought, they feel an emotion, and then they just run with it. They just run with it. They don't think or do anything else about it. They just run with it. They let it take over, whatever. They let the thought do what it wants to do. They let the emotions do what they want to do, and then they react off of the emotions. That is not what you want to do. You have to get to a point where you can actually think about your emotional state. You say, okay, I feel this way. How you feel is very real. It is very real. So admit to how you feel and then retrace your feeling back to the thought that provoked that feeling. Whatever happened, whatever was said, whatever you thought in your mind, whatever it was that provoked that feeling, you must be able to retrace the feeling back to the thought. And that is going to be a big step. So whenever you feel like you're depressed, what are you really feeling? What do you really feel? What are you really feeling? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling low? Are you feeling, of course you're feeling a negative way, a way that doesn't make you feel good, but what are you feeling? And don't say depression because like I said, that is a cop-out, and it is really mental programming to say, oh yeah, whenever I'm not feeling good, I'm depressed. So I'm gonna just say I'm depressed. It's mental programming. So unprogram yourself and really get to the bottom of how do you feel. And when you get to the bottom of how do you feel, then you can easily retrace that feeling back to the thought that provoked that feeling. And then when you can do that, you're really getting somewhere. You are really getting somewhere. Like you're pretty much done with the whole process once you've done that. But we do still have step 3. So in step 3, this is the fun one right here. This is the good one right here. So what you're gonna do is once you can think about what you're feeling and you can trace that feeling back to the thought that provoked it, what you are going to do or what you want to do is replace that negative thought that you had, replace it with a positive one. So we've already gotten to the bottom of the fact that once something goes into your mind, once you think a thought, once you feel a certain type of way, you can't unthink it. You can undo your feelings. You can change the way you feel about a situation, but you can't unthink a thought that provoked a feeling. So the only thing that you can do is put positive thoughts in it. So whatever you thought about, whatever it was that made you feel low, you're simply going to think about it in a different way, in any way that is a positive way. So let's give an example or something like that. Let's say you having family issues or something like that, and the fact that you care about your family so much, it really gets to you that you having all of these family issues, and the negative thoughts, they get into your mind, they take over, and then you go into that downward spiral, which ends up being labeled as depression. So let's say that all of this stuff does happen. What you have to do is you must just identify, like, okay, I am feeling this way because of this. This situation is really what's making me feel down, is making me feel low. I'm having problems with my family. So what you are going to do is you are going to say the exact opposite. And I was just telling somebody this the other day. So this does go along with step 1. So include this in step 1. What you are going to do is say the exact opposite. So if ever you get ready to say, oh yeah, I'm depressed, or you think the thought like, oh, I'm depressed, what you want to do is say, I'm happy. I'm happy. Like I'm not depressed. I'm not going through anything like that's that serious for me to be depressed about it. Like, I'm not going through anything like that. I'm not thinking negatively about things. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm happy. I'm in a happy state. I'm good. Like, I'm good. You have to tell yourself this. Like, you have to. You have to tell yourself this. And this is going to undo that mental programming of, oh, yeah, I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. This is going to get into your subconscious. This is going to trick your subconscious into thinking you're already happy. So naturally you're going to move in a way to where that makes you happy, because you've already tricked your subconscious mind like, hey, I'm happy. I'm happy. Because what you speak out of your mouth is what's going to come true. So if you do the opposite and you say, I'm depressed, that's what's going to come true. But if you say, I'm happy, I'm good, like I'm building the life that I want, my life is progressing, I'm growing as a person, then that all of those things are going to come true. And you're going to completely get rid of all of those negative thoughts that are creeping into your mind and making you feel like you are depressed. Because like I said, all this stuff does is just line the pockets of doctors and things like that. And that's not what we want to do. The medical community, the medical field is supposed to be there to help people. And if it's not helping people, then it's hurting people. So like when you think about it, our medical field, our medical community is hurting people. They are hurting the vast public, like the majority of the public, because they are making people think that they have medical issues that they don't truly have, so that they can treat them with medication that's not even going to cure the issue, is just going to prolong it so that they can make more money off of them repeatedly. So let's not do that. Let's not fall into the mental programming of being like, oh yeah, I'm depressed and things like that. All of that is just mental programming. Don't go along with society. I'm telling you. Do not go along with society, because society will trick you every time and have you playing right into the palm of the big man's hand. Like whoever is the rich person that's making all the money at the top, you're going to be eating right out of their hand. And then your life is still going to be not the way you want it. So you have to undo that mental programming. You have to tell yourself, I'm not depressed. I'm not going through nothing that serious. Like, look at my life. Even if you have things that are in your life that you're not exactly happy with, this is going to help you undo that. This is going to help you make it so that you are happy about what's going on in your life. Tell yourself that you are happy. Tell yourself that you are good. Tell yourself that you are abundant. Tell yourself that your life is amazing. And I promise you, as it creeps into your subconscious is going to take over, and the way that you move is going to be in a way to where you automatically move in a way that makes you happy. And you don't even have to worry about negative thoughts coming into your mind, creeping into your mind and taking over, because you already know as soon as the negative thought comes in, you know what it is, and you know exactly how to get rid of it, which is to feed your mind with positive thoughts. Turn it around into something positive. With everything that's negative, there's always a positive end to it. So all you have to do is not see the negative end and see the positive end. And you have cured yourself 100% completely of ever having any type of depression in your life. And the only reason that I'm saying all of this is because I've gone through all of this. I have been in states where I didn't feel like I had any control, or I didn't know what was going on, and it just creeped into my mind, just all negativity. I didn't know what was going on. I was lost. But once my eyes were open and I started to realize like really society is really trying to play us. Society is playing us in reaping all of the benefits every single time. The whole medical community is playing us. All of the government and people, like the people at the top, they are playing us to have us eating out of the palm of their hand, keeping them rich. You know how rich people who make these medications are? And they're not even curing things. They're just supposedly treating it. They're not even curing anything. But these people are lining their pockets with millions upon millions and billions. The medical community probably makes trillions of dollars a year just off of selling prescriptions that aren't even making people's lives better. Like, ain't that crazy? The people who are taking all these prescriptions, they're not even going on to live a better life and saying, hey, yeah, you know, my life is so much better since I started taking this prescription. They're just like, oh, well, I guess it's not as bad as it was. So, you know, I guess it's better. Like, no, just because it's not as bad as it was doesn't mean that you're cured. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily better. It just means that you're probably prolonged in the same thing. It's just prolonged it. So let's get rid of all of that mental programming. I know the video is a little bit long, but if you do end up watching the entire video from start to finish, you are guaranteed to get some gems out of here, because I'm not just talking bullshit. Like, I'm telling you, 2 years ago I was homeless. I was busted, disgusted, didn't know what the hell was going on in the world, in life, in nothing. And it would have been easy for me to say, oh, I'm depressed. But never once in my life did I ever tell myself that I was depressed, because one, I never knew what it meant. Can you believe that there are so many people out here that are claiming to be in a certain state and they don't even know what it means? Because it doesn't mean anything. It's completely made up. It is completely made up. So whenever you get to a point and then you start saying, oh, I'm depressed, you're copping yourself out, and you're actually blocking yourself from figuring out what's really going on with you, so that you can stop it, so that you can be better, so that you can feel better. So just go ahead, pay attention to this video. If you need to run it back to the steps again, then do that. But I am gonna recap on the steps again, just because I know that I probably rambled a little bit. So step 1 is to never, ever say that you are depressed. Never think it in your mind either, because like I said, it is a made up condition. What you are going to do instead is say the exact opposite, that you are not depressed, that you are happy, and that you are building the life that is right for you and that is perfect for you. That is what you are going to say. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. Nothing happens overnight. Nobody says, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire today, and then tomorrow they end up being a millionaire. This is a process. But if you keep doing this over and over, if you keep telling yourself that, I can promise you, you will beat depression, and that depression will be in your rearview mirror. And anytime somebody says something about depression, you just gonna be like, depression? You're gonna be like Iverson with practice. You're gonna practice depression. What the fuck is depression? Because really, what is depression? I can guarantee you, if you're watching this video, you cannot tell me what depression is without quoting somebody else that supposedly defined it for you. I can promise you that, without going on Google and saying, hey, what is depression? And then basically just reading it off to me. Nobody in this world can define what depression is, because I went through my whole life of 30 years and never even knew what the hell the shit was, and until I knew that I had beaten it. So, I mean, once again, I'm not trying to be insensitive about what anybody's feeling or what anybody's going through or anything like that. I'm simply here trying to help. I'm doing this video because I have witnessed a lot of people on my Facebook and on social media in general, just like kind of saying that they're depressed, that they feel depressed. And so that is why I felt the need to do this video. And even though the video is a bit long, it is still gonna help people. Anybody that has the willpower to sit down and say, hey, I don't wanna deal with this anymore. What is the cure? And if you're sitting here watching this video and you feel like you're one of those people and you don't watch it to the end, then you're pretty much just prolonging your own suffering. You're basically saying like, oh, well, I don't care that I'm suffering. Even if I feel like I'm depressed, I don't care, you know, because I'm really here offering you the solution. And this is the solution. And the reason why I know it's the solution is because it was the solution for me, you know? I had a hard life, my whole life. My whole life was hard, entire life. Nothing was ever easy for me, ever, ever, ever. So if you see me right now and you think that anything is easy for me, you are wrong and you are blind. Because if you ever knew me, then you would know that I had a hard, hard life. But what I did not do is ever say, I am depressed. That's one thing that I never did. I always just stayed in my own mind trying to figure out what was going on and how to get myself out of it. And I never ever trusted the medical community to cure me of anything, because the medical community has never cured me of anything. Yeah. If you go there with a broke arm or something like that, then of course they gonna fix your arm. You know, they gonna put a cast on your arm and then your arm is gonna heal. But as far as taking medications, you're not gonna ever cure anything by taking any medications. And I can promise you that. You're never gonna cure anything. You're gonna prolong the situation, and maybe you might feel a little bit better about it, maybe. But that's only after you done spent a whole bunch of money making a whole bunch of other people rich and going to a whole bunch of appointments and things and wasting a bunch of time that you didn't need to waste. So at this 40-minute mark, we are finally done, and I'm concluding this video. I feel like I've said enough to, you know, get anybody that really wants to get themselves out of that situation to get themselves out of it. Like, nobody has to feel negatively. Nobody has to feel low. Nobody has to ever feel like they are in a position where they can't do anything to get out of it. Your mind is your best friend. Your mind is your best friend. Your mind will get you out of any situation that you are ever in that you don't want to be in. It's your own mind that is going to get you out of it. And it was my mind that got me out of it. So once you look into your own mind and you say, hey, step by step, start from the bottom up. How do I get myself out of this mental state that I do not like myself being in? And your mind you will be surprised at what your mind will tell you, because your mind will tell you the truth. But if you go listening to other people, then they will lie to you. So you have to listen to your own mind. Your own mind will tell you the truth. So never say you're depressed. Never say you're depressed. Well, that's step one. I don't know if I finished doing a recap. Step one, never say you're depressed. Step two is retrace your thoughts, retrace your emotions back to the thought that caused it. And then step three, that is replace the negative thought with positive thoughts. And you may have to do that like repeatedly. Replace it with a lot of positive thoughts. Just keep thinking those positive thoughts, because those positive thoughts are really what's going to get you out of that situation. And you will never have to worry about living any type of life that you are not 100% completely happy with. It's like ever. No matter how much other people try to put on you, you will never be unhappy yourself, because you will already know, like, I'm good. You will already have that positivity in your mind. Like it'll be programmed in your mind the same way that depression gets programmed into people's mind. So I hope this video helps out some people. You know, these are the steps that help me to be able to get to the point where I'm at, to where I don't ever have to worry about, you know, feeling these type of negative things, because I already know exactly how to get myself out of these mental states should I ever feel them. If I feel a negative emotion, then I know immediately to put a thought, like start thinking positive thoughts immediately. I know immediately now. So I'm to the point where I don't even think negatively about things no more, because as soon as a negative thought comes in, boom, here comes the positive one. Because I already know the positive thoughts are what's going to keep me feeling good. The negative thoughts are what's going to keep me feeling low. So keep those positive thoughts. Keep telling yourself, I'm positive, I'm happy, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I have everything, I'm obtaining everything, I'm building the life that is perfect for me. And you will be good, you will be okay, you know? So thank you for watching. Like, the 1% of people that actually made it to this point, thank you. And I hope that you are subscribed to the channel. I hope that you like this video. And, you know, I hope that you got the notifications on so you can stay updated on all of these videos that I'm dropping. So, you know, once again, I will be more consistent on this channel again. However, I'm not going to force things. So as the ideas really come to me, as I feel like they need to be discussed, then I will discuss them. But I am going to be more consistent on this channel. So thank y'all for watching. This has been another episode of G to the Q, Q to the T, Q Town in the new GQ. So thank y'all. Y'all stay blessed and make sure keep those positive thoughts. Take care.